Hello and welcome everybody to the penultimate round of AIRS F1 Season 1. Today we're here at the Suzuka circuit in Japan, and my god, we have a cracking race planned for you today. The battle between Mihael Valjak and Thomas McHugh has heated up dramatically after last time out. Valjak scored no points and McHugh scored 10, closing the gap up to even 79 apiece. It's also fair to say that Finley Taylor's also in the championship fight mathematically, but he needs both drivers to retire from both races and him to get a first and a second to win the championship by 1 point. So basically, Finley Taylor has a very much outside chance of this, but all eyes are on Mihael Valjak and Thomas McHugh. And absolutely, let's get down to the grid. It's hard to comprehend all of this, but on pole we have a first-time pole sitter, believe it or not. It's Louis Sage for Williams, followed by his teammate Valjak. And then we have an all-McLaren second row of Taylor and McHugh. James Smith in fifth, and then Mitchell Langberg, Coburn, Murray Sr. rounding out the top 8. Fifth row is Leighton Houses, with Kopich and Curtis. Then we have Harvey, Barton, Akikawa, Gradin and Risotto, your top 15. Poke, De Campo, Fischer, De Jong, Regani make up the top 20. Then we have Feather, Opner, Aguirre, Granville, Nisbet and Kelly rounding off the grid. And without further ado, I can't wait and I hope you can't either. Let's get on with the race. As we're going to watch for the lights, they're going to go on and then they're going to go off, and we are racing when that happens. Lights are on, lights out, and away we go. It's a good start from Louis Sage, and it's also a good start from Mihael Valjak. The two McLarens sitting in the slipstream, going to try and pull it up on the inside into turn 1, not quite going to make it happen. As Louis Sage gaps Valjak, he's made a very good start indeed. And then it's the two McLarens, perhaps a bit team orders being needed today, as Thomas McHugh is going to be wanting to fight with the number 6, Valjak of course. They're going to be teammates next year, but for this current moment in time, they're brutal, bitter rivals. As they head down to into the Degners, into sector 2 for the first time. And under the bridge, you can see Louis Sage getting a bit sideways, maybe allowing Valjak to put a move into the hairpin for on the first lap. He gets right into the back of him, no contact made, and they are going to be heading down towards the spoon curve very shortly. As they head down towards 130R for the first time, Louis Sage gets around the curve very nicely, and Valjak is very close in behind. Is he going to try and put a move up into the Casio triangle? He does! A little bit of contact, you see a bollard's been moved, and Valjak has made that move as cleanly as he can, really. Casio triangle is very tight and it's very hard to make a move, and across the line onto lap 2 it's Mihael Valjak who's going to be in the lead. Ignore the debris in the gravel trap. Louis Sage in second, being hounded by Finley Taylor. Now we're going to get on board as we go through the S's. You can see how much precision they're having to use. A little bit of wobbling from the steering wheel, but that's just part of trying to grab every little bit of traction you can. So he gets in the slipstream, and Valjak has now pulled a little bit of a lead out, and this is perhaps the Williams master plan. Have Sage hold up the McLarens so Valjak can get away, as he saw a massive kick of oversteer as Taylor gets a little bit on the Astro. As they head round the hairpin now, Sage bottling them up. So Valjak has now grabbed himself a 2.2 second lead. Louis Sage absolutely doing what Williams will want, allowing Valjak to get away. The current situation, if it were to finish like this, would be a 5-point advantage in the Croatians' favour. So we head down towards 130R for the second time. I think that's Thomas McHugh trying to put it underneath his teammate as he gets hugely sideways, almost making contact So we head down towards the Casio triangle, and Taylor's right up the inside. No contact even made, and he's absolutely going to make that move, but almost not, as Sage gets some mad traction around the outside. They're going to be heading side by side down the straight. As you can see, this is going to go into turn 1. I think the Williams has got a little bit of extra power though, and indeed it does, and Taylor not quite making the moves work. So Taylor's going to have to go through the S's once again, try and close up on Sage, but Sage is very quick around this part of the circuit, I think. Obviously he took pole, and I saw him during qualifying, and he's really wringing the neck of that Williams. Obviously he's leaving Williams, but I think we're going to see that same aggressive but at the same time minimalistic style. As there's a wheel gone. There's a wheel gone. What has happened here? I saw a wheel on the circuit. I'm going to have to go backwards. I think I know who it is. It's someone in 24th. What has happened here? Oh my god, no it isn't. It's not. It's Armani Risotto. He's lost the wheel. Now how has this happened? On lap 2 or 3, depending on when this crash has happened, I'm going to have to reverse the tapes quickly. As you can see, yes, I was correct. It's happened at the Degners, and you can see a wheel rolling down the gravel. How the hell has this happened? Oh my goodness me, we've had a big collision. I think there was yellows, but we didn't see it because the top guys were not in the back. Oh my goodness me. So he's just punted the Leighton House out the way. You can see he's pushed him into a spin. That is awful driving from Armani Risotto, and he's driven back into David Granville, and Granville's lost the wheel. There's 2 cars out. Let's just check that. Yes indeed, he is out. No, it's Amir Opner who's out, and David Granville was in the pits. So both LaRousses have been shafted. My goodness me, we're going to have to go up front. I thought Valjak lost his wheel for a second. So that's 2 cars out. With this big collision, I think there's going to be words after the race, and perhaps words between Amir Opner, the Palestinian, and Armani Risotto. Armani Risotto, what was he thinking? I think that's going to be a race ban or something, because that is just as bad as what Isabel Harvey did at Monza. But back to the front battle as we enter lap 4 of 18. Is Valjak in the lead still, as Sage is going to try and put one on into turn 1. He doesn't quite do so, and Thomas McHugh's dropped massively off the back. He's 3 seconds down, and Coburn's now going to try and close him up. But the other McLaren, of Finley Taylor, is right on the back of the 2 Williams. But my goodness me, what would happen if we had a contact like that right up front? That's not foreshadowing, I don't know what's going to happen. And I didn't know that was going to happen. But my goodness me. So they head down towards the right-handed now. You can see no debris. I'm sure the marshals have quickly got rid of it. Japanese being incredibly efficient. And it's absolutely brilliant to be at the Suzuka circuit. One of my personal all-time faves. As Finley Taylor's just planted it up the inside into the hairpin. And he's gone up into second, demoting the number 5 Williams to third. As they get right on the curve there, and going to break it down into the spoon curve now. Finley Taylor's going to be the one who's going to try and hold the 2 Williams up and back him into his teammate who's battling for that championship, Thomas McHugh. I'm going to take this time right now to just say, if you're enjoying what's happening so far, like the video, that would be massively appreciated. Leave a comment in either the Discord or the YouTube video, I don't mind. Let me know what you think can be done better, and subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified of when it happens, but I also notify you guys on the Discord. Anyways, enough plugging out the way. It's Valjak who's in the lead as we enter lap 5 of 18. And Finley Taylor's right in behind, but Louis Sage is looking very racy in behind. And Thomas McHugh has closed the gap up by a second as the 3 have been squabbling. And it's absolutely going to come down to whether Finley Taylor can actually back the 2 Williams up into his teammate. But it looks to me like if I go up front a little bit more, yes indeed, you can see on the bottom right, Valjak has gapped them by 1.2 seconds. So this is his little charge of pace, perhaps using the tyres a little bit more as we have an overtake in the background. It's Louis Sage up the inside of Taylor. He gets a massively sideways, but he gets that brilliant exit even so. And he's back into second, and he's allowed, and Taylor's right on the back of Thomas McHugh. We're going to go on board with Thomas McHugh. We're going to see him move into the spoon curve. Not quite. We perhaps are going to see one down on the slipstream, down in towards 130R. But he's not got the best exit, and I think everyone's spreading out a little bit now. He's going to go down the field a little bit more, see the battle for the 7th position between James Smith and Mitchell Langenberg. Isabel Harvey holding up, well not holding up, but big train with a Leighton House. We got a Jordan of Samuel Gradin and the 2 Scuderia Italia Delaras of Akikar and Polk. Then we have De Jong a little bit further back. Fast lap of the race is Louis Sage at the moment, as Louis Sage is going to charge real hard to try and close up on Valjak. It's not what Williams will want, but Sage will be wanting to take another win. Obviously Williams didn't want him and signed Thomas McHugh, and I think that is absolutely the right decision from them. And Sage has gone off to Benetton, but Sage is going to prove his worth now. He's going to try and overtake his teammate, who's been so good this season, and recently his performances have dropped a little bit off, but Mihael Valjak is still absolutely the fast guy, the one that everyone wants to beat, and I'd say he's bottled the title somewhat, allowing Thomas McHugh to close up to 79 to 79. But Valjak is still in the driving seat at the moment, and he has got the preference in terms of position, 1st to 4th at the moment, as Thomas McHugh dives right underneath his teammate into the spoon curve, and he's going to massively want to close down the top 2. Valjak is actually in second now, as Louis Sage has got the lead as they head down towards the Casio Triangle once again, as we enter the lap 7 of 18. No pit stops as usual. That is the way we roll. And do comment in the live chat with whoever else is watching. Who do you want to win the championship and why? Do you want it to be the Croatian Mihael Valjak for Williams, or do you want it to be the Irishman Thomas McHugh? As Thomas McHugh has actually closed the gap up to 0.6 as they head through the S's now. I think you're going to see Thomas McHugh put a heavy move on Valjak very soon. These two are going to be locked in combat for some time, as Valjak is absolutely not going to be wanting to let the McLaren yellow helmet driver through, as they're actually catching David Granville, but understandably so. He got caught up in the fracas between his teammate Opner and Arani Rizzoso, both of whom are out the race, as actually Valjak is actually closing up on his teammate. We're going to sit on board as we head down towards the spoon curve. Look at that overspeed, and he's going to be wanting for a brilliant exit, heading down the straight and into 130R. Will we see a brilliant move into 130R from Mihael Valjak? He's very close now. He's going to sit in the slipstream, perhaps surprise him into 130R. He's not going to pull to the inside, perhaps into the Casio Triangle, or are we going to see a move from Thomas McHugh? In fact, here he comes. It's Mihael Valjak going right up the inside into the first part of the Casio Triangle, and Louis Sage not getting the best exit, and he's going to be hung out to dry around the outside, and we're going to see the two McLarens going to try and make advantage of this, as Thomas McHugh is going to try and get around the outside into turn 1, but Louis Sage is going to get up the inside, and so is Finley Taylor. They're in a box formation, and it looks like Finley Taylor is still side by side with his teammate. This is absolutely not what McLaren team want, but they're still side by side going around the right-hander. And it looks like Finley Taylor is going to have to concede the position. No, he's not. He's going to dive right down the inside. And here comes Christopher Coburn. I'm losing my voice. and they're still side by side. Finley Taylor's going to have to concede, and Thomas McHugh, with brilliant defending, is going to maintain third position. My goodness me. Let's get my breath back, as Mihael Valjak has got the lead at the moment. Followed by Louis Sage, followed by Thomas McHugh. Joseph Murray Sr. is right on the back of this battle too. He's eyeing the podium. As he gets a bit on the curb there, a bit of dirt being flung up at his teammate. And indeed, they're trying to build a gap now, the two Williams, with Valjak having 1.1 over Sage, having 2 over Thomas McHugh, after all that battling, going side by side through pretty much the whole first sector. It's now up to Thomas McHugh to try and close the gap back up again on the Williams cars. And perhaps that will be helped. If you can see in front, it is David Granville. Absolutely nothing he can do about being so far down, as Valjak is going to be closing right onto them. The gentlemanly thing to do here would be to let Valjak past. Obviously no blue flag rule, but we don't want the back markers being pricks. You wouldn't hear an actual commentator say that, but hey, whatever. As Granville can't really let Valjak pass until perhaps here he can pull to the outside and just let him go through on the line into Degner 1. Not quite going to let him past here. Degner 2. And you can see Sage in the background is visibly closing up. I think we're going to see Valjak make a move into the hairpin. Yes, he does. That's fair dues from the LaRousse driver. And now it's Sage's turn to try and make the overtake. Perhaps down this straight, Granville could concede. But then he'll have to concede to Thomas McHugh and all the others, losing time. Not that it really matters for him. He's so far off the back. And here comes McHugh up the inside into Spoon Curve. And he's going to try and get past Granville and head down. It is now the two title competitors in positions 1 and 2. And Louis Sage is still stuck behind the LaRousse, but he's going to get up the inside before they head into 130R. I think that's the same case for Christopher Coburn. Not quite. He gets alongside, but not making the move exactly. But he's going to try into the Casio triangle, pushing Granville. I think they're all visibly a bit annoyed at Granville. He's not going to get out of the way. This would be the place I would get out of the way and pull to the pit wall and let everyone past. As no, he's not. And he's going to try, or not try, the others are going to try and get the inside into turn 1. Murray Sr. absolutely capitalises on that. As we're going to go up front and see the gap between Valjak and McHugh is 0.6 of a second. We're going to go on board and ignore the back marker. As we're going to see the two Williams sandwiching the number 1 of the McLaren. That is, of course, Thomas McHugh. What is he going to do? Thomas McHugh, what is he going to do? I'm cringeworthy, I know that. But here's Louis Sage, he's right on the back. I thought he was going to try and put it up the inside into the hairpin. We have another hairpin coming up, and that is the Spoon Curve. Very interesting place to try and make a move indeed. And Sage is perhaps close enough. And he's going to try and make the move. He taps the inside left-hand tyre of Thomas McHugh. And he is past. And he is going to try and close down his teammate now. So we're on lap 10 of 18. I've kind of neglected the lap count. But we're over halfway now. And it is going to come down to who has the tyres and the fuel to battle and gain the time right at the end of the race. Because it doesn't look like anyone can quite get away. As we're going to see where indeed the back marker Granville is, as it looks like the top 8 have got past him. They've cleared Granville, and now it's Alan Kopic's turn in the Leighton House March. Lap time's dropping off a little bit, not so much for Louis Sage. I saw he did a 38.5, which is only 0.2 off his fastest lap. and he is absolutely right on the back. We're going to get a nice onboard cam. You can see his wheel movements, his rev count, albeit we have the GUI at the bottom right showing what gear he's in and what speed he's going at. But it's nice to see the authentic analog version on the car. As we're going to see perhaps a move down into the hairpin, not quite, he gets a little bit bumbly on the curbs and he loses a bit of time. But now, are we going to perhaps see one going into the spoon curve? Not quite at the moment. But he's closing up massively. Are we going to see a move? Is he going to pull to the inside? Not quite. It's not a brilliant idea to try and do that on the inside of your teammate. You can see in the left-hand mirror, you can see Thomas McHugh and Murray Senior. They're not too far away. And here comes Sage. Is he going to try and put one on the inside into 130R? Not quite. What about the Casio triangle? Another brilliant place to try and make a move. He doesn't quite do so. And this is all allowing Tom McHugh to close up. I think Valjak is trying to conserve the fuel, perhaps knowing that Sage won't do anything stupid to him. As we cross the line onto lap 12, as we head towards turn 1, no contact made, but it is Valjak who concedes the position to Sage, and now Valjak is desperately trying to defend from McHugh, who's right on the back now. This is absolutely Thomas McHugh's chance to make the move, but will we see it done? I don't know. Around the right hander now. Then into the right and into the left. And they're all concertinaing up as Thomas McHugh getting a little bit sideways through that corner, clipping a lot of the curve, perhaps a bit of the grass. And he's actually lost some time to the two Williams cars, as Valjak is looking to get past his teammate once again, as Sage not pulling away as much as perhaps he thought he had the pace for. Valjak is going to look up the inside into 130R. He's made the move. Oh, not quite. I thought he had his nose in front there, but not quite. As Thomas McHugh's going to go up the inside into the Casio triangle, side by side. This is Senna and Prost stuff, but they're not going to go into the escape road. My goodness me, this is going to get very heated soon as we enter lap 13 of 18 with only 5 to go. And Thomas McHugh, I don't think he's been in front, truly, this entire race. And he's going to be continuing to battle with the two Williams cars. And Joseph Murray is just sitting in behind, waiting for contact or a little bit of a time save he can gain somewhere, so he can get past these guys. Because the win is in sight for him, or at least the podium. And that would be absolutely brilliant for the Benetton driver, who has been criticised by media for being a little bit mediocre this season. But personally, I think he's done a good job in that car. As we're going to see them go through the hairpin once again. And this is where Joseph Murray Senior is going to try and get the slipstream as they head down towards the spoon curve. He gets a little bit too much on the curb there. I reckon he could have gone for the move there. And actually, we're going to have to go up front as Mihael Valjak is right on the back of his teammate. Once again, is he going to try into the 130R? Is he going to try into the Casio triangle? Let's find out. He's not going to try into 130R. He probably thought better of it. And now he's going to try into the Casio triangle. They're alongside each other, no contact made. And that is a good move from Valjak. As he goes round the right hand flat corner that ends out the circuit. And on to lap 14 of 18. At this current moment, with Thomas McHugh in third and Valjak leading, it would be a 4-second advantage to Valjak. Obviously, with the point system being 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's quite easy to work out for me what the points differential would be, and that is absolutely crucial when we come into the last round at Adelaide. And it all comes down to what the points are going to be like. Remember, if they tie on points come the end of the season, Valjak will win regardless of how many wins Thomas McHugh can pull in the next few races, as McHugh has 3 wins to Valjak's 6. However, non-points finishes speaking, McHugh only has 1 to Valjak's 2. And so perhaps the more consistent has been McHugh, but the outright juggernaut of pace has been Mihael Valjak in that Williams. And once again, he's flexing those muscles of the Renault in the Williams. As McHugh, looking up the inside of Sage, going into 130R, backs out of it. And I think he's a little bit too far back to put it into the Casio triangle. He doesn't go for the move. Now it comes down, it pretty much comes down to when will McHugh make the move, and if so, can he close up Mihael Valjak in the Williams, or can he beat the 2 Williams? And that is really the question, as he's absolutely not going to want Valjak to get the 10 points for winning. And as they're all closing up a little bit now, McHugh, you can see he's pushing. He got a little bit sideways through that right hander in the S's there. I don't think back markers are going to play too much of a role in this race, as I'm going to quickly go forward and see it's Granville, who's, he's already been overtaken. And then it is Wef Poke who's back here. He's seemingly lost a lot of time. And yeah, he's back down in 23rd. I'm going to quickly go forward and show you the positions for the back markers. As Wait For Sure is in the pits, I'm not going to see the replay as we got a battle up front, but For Sure has seemingly lost his front wing. And that is unfortunate for the Minardi driver. As you can see, I'm just cycling through the positions. As McHugh is now closing up on Valjak, this could be it. As Sage has been demoted and Taylor's right on him. Perhaps Taylor's going to try and keep him occupied whilst the 2 title contenders are going to be battling hard. You can see how much McHugh was making up, and he's not going to put one up the inside into the triangle as Taylor gets hugely sideways. I think he grabbed too much of the curve through the first half of the triangle. As we cross the line onto lap 16 with 3 to go. Currently it would be a 2-point differential with Valjak getting the better of McHugh, or maintaining his lead, because technically he is in the lead even if they are tied on points. But McHugh here is going to absolutely want to overtake Valjak. He knows what's at stake here, and he absolutely wants to grab that title. The 2 best drivers in the grid are going to be joined at Williams next season, and Williams are very confident in their package for next season. McLaren aren't so confident, and perhaps that drove Thomas McHugh to leave. Obviously there has been no testing. We will have a test a few days after. It's going to be a private test, but a lot of the teams are going to turn up for that one. And they're all going to be doing a nice 2 hours or so of driving to get rid of all of the bugs and not bugs, that's more of a computer thing, but getting the troubleshooting out of the way. I need to stop talking about testing, but you get the gist, because Valjak has got a huge lead now. And huge, I mean a second, and a second to go, a second with 2 laps to go is absolutely crucial. And it all comes down to whether McHugh has the pace, as we're on lap 17 of 18. This is real moments to see who's going to be our race winner today. And our race winner, if it's one of these 2, is crucial for the championship, because even 2 points, that's still crucial, as we expect these guys to finish top 4 every race, really. But here he is. McHugh is only 4/10 off. As we're going to go on board, you can see his gauge, and you can see where he's revving from the rev limiter, or not the rev limiter, the rev needle, I should say. And he is right on the back now. Is he going to try and move a risky move into Spoon? Is he going to try a risky move into 130R? Or will it be the Casio Triangle? Those are very opportunistic places to try and make a move. And I would say the Casio Triangle chicane is the place you should be making the move if you're going to pick out of those 3. Turn 1 is also a good place to try and make a move. And Thomas McHugh is sitting right in the slipstream. Surely he's going to put one up the inside here. And he does. And he sweeps down the inside. No contact even made. It's not going to be a Michael Schumacher and try and make contact with his rival. And across the line, you're going to see the line cut here. And you see the indicator with 1 lap to go. And Valjak is sitting right in the slipstream. Sage pulls up the inside. This is absolutely not what the Williams crew needs. Louis Sage absolutely knows what's at stake in this race. And I think we might see some team orders at some point. This is unacceptable from Sage if I were the team owner, which I technically am, but I don't have a say. Louis Sage has got past his teammate into turn 1, and he's going to let Thomas McHugh gap him by a second. This could be absolutely crucial for the championship, and this could be absolutely costly for the Croatian, as he's going to go 4 points down into the last race. As we head into the hairpin once again, for sure is a little bit up the road. Maybe he'll get involved, but he is still perhaps 2 seconds in the lead of McHugh. Obviously not in the lead of this race, of course, as Valjak has massively dropped off. He's the second back on Sage. Perhaps Sage, knowing that Valjak hasn't got enough pace, perhaps Sage is going to take it to McHugh, and I'm going to go on board. As look at the inside, he's got a huge run on Thomas McHugh up into 130R. They're side by side, but Thomas McHugh runs it around the outside, and it's going to go into the Casio Triangle. Sage tries everything he can, but I think it's going to be Thomas McHugh takes the win here at the Japanese Grand Prix. As we head around the final corner, Thomas McHugh brilliantly wins the race, followed by Louis Sage. My goodness me, I need to get my voice back. Louis Sage gets second, and then Mihael Valjak in third. So it is confirmed Thomas McHugh is going to go into the finale at Adelaide with a 4-point lead. Christopher Coburn gets 4th in the end, followed by his teammates. Mitchell Langberg in 6th. Oh my goodness me, what has happened here? This is on the cooldown lap, and Joseph Murray Sr. has literally just spun it. So it's grabbed a lot of curb and it's just sent him sideways. I mean, it's made him look okay. That's interesting. Did Murray Sr. think there was a lap to go? And if so, was he still pushing and he's just punted it into the wall? And he's not going to make it back to Parc Ferme. This is perhaps controversial, as Parc Ferme rules state that you have to have your car back. I mean, it will get towed back to the garage, but Murray Sr. has... That is incredibly strange. I'm going to go and show you that Isabel Harvey is in 8th, Johan de Jong in 9th, and Grad in 10th, as we're going to go back, and he will be classified because he crossed the line. But Joseph Murray Sr. is in the wall without a wheel, and that is incredibly strange. It looked like a driver error, so I don't think he's going to be penalised for it. But Joseph Murray Sr. crashes on the cooldown lap. What an incredibly strange occurrence. So, we look now towards the final standings as everyone has finished now. As for sure has just finished. As you can see, it is Thomas McHugh who won that race brilliantly by 0.1 of a second in the end. And that is absolutely crucial for the championship, as I mentioned. As Louis Sach is your second place driver, and Valjak rounding out the podium. Then you have Coburn, Smith, Langenberg, Murray Senior, albeit that is perhaps questionable, but I think he will still get 7th. The stewards, I believe, won't care too much about that, as it did look like driver error. And the car will be tested to see if it was an elaborate stunt by the Benetton team to have the car not checked at Parc Fermé or something. You know, Crashgate style shits. Isabel Harvey getting the last point. This is a good return for her, as she's going to be driving for the McLaren team next season. And then there's De Jong, Gradin, Akikawa, Kopich, Barton. So we're going to go down the order now. DeCampo, Regani, Taylor, Curtis. Wait, Taylor? What happened to Finley Taylor? I'm sorry, I've completely missed this. Finley Taylor has ended up finishing 16th. What the hell has happened here? He's finished 53 seconds off. I reckon he's had to make a pit stop. I cannot apologise enough for missing. But Taylor seemingly made a pit stop. I can check now.
Been too loud.
Indeed he has. It looks like he's made a pit stop on one of the final laps of the race. As you can see his timings here. If I go back to the monitor though. Yeah, Finley Taylor has finished 16th. And that is the rest of the finishers. My God, have you got a brilliant race coming to you next week for Adelaide. And I believe Armani Risotto will get race banned for his incident with the two LaRousses and the Leighton House March, because that is pretty unacceptable, driving into the road and taking out a fellow competitor. However, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope this one has been entertaining. The spreadsheet upgrades are all going to come out very shortly. If not, they've already come out. And yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. I've been Yuriality. And take care, and I'll see you for the title deciding finale at the Australian Grand Prix. Take care, goodbye.